looked like stairs was...
Right.
And then when was the last time you actually walked upstairs? Because that was... Who walks upstairs like that? Honey, I'm gonna go up and put the kids to bed.
Well, I live in a one-story house. That's part of the problem. Oh, man.
That was great, man. Good stuff.
Thank you, everybody. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess we should take questions. We are
It's a
here
good
for
thing we're out
that.
in Denver.
Oh, getting off the plane, I needed an oxygen tank.
Yeah, that was rough.
It's a mile high.
It's like a mile-high city.
Yeah, they should label it that so we know.
I know. It's like Chicago. The wind there.
Hey.
Oh, it's such a windy city.
Couldn't they warn a fella?
I know.
All right, let's take questions. Why not? Let's start with you.
Okay, hi.
Hi.
Hi. So, what's the craziest photo op someone's asked you to do this weekend or ever at a con?
Well, I'll just tell the story I tell about photo ops, which is that one time I was asked to do a photo op, and a woman was kind enough to bring me a photo image that she wanted us to recreate, and I saw it and I said, I'm gonna, I've done a lot of unsavory things on film, but I'm gonna have to say no to this one. It's, no, that's a bridge too far to live on the web, and I have a lot to answer for already with the children. I'm not gonna add this one to the stack. I'm gonna have to say no. Now, the funny part of the story isn't that I said no to the woman's unsavory request. It's that the picture she was using to model what she wanted to see happen was a picture of her and Misha doing that pose. Clearly our boundaries do not intersect. Robbie, you got a story?
Well, the one I like to tell is one time we were in Europe, and a young lady came up to Rich and I doing pictures together, and she says, okay, I want you two to embrace, hug each other. And we're like, okay, sure. And she's like, okay, and I'm not in the picture. And we're like, well, hold on a minute.
You went, whoa, whoa, whoa. Everybody just calm down. I mean, it wasn't just like we were bro hugging, it was like we were cheek to cheek.
Getting
like
in there, yeah. Because that's what you wanted. But you need some reference. It needs to be another person in there.
Otherwise,
a photo.
Otherwise, it looked like Rob and I went to a photo session to film ourselves embracing. And
right. We had already done that at JCPenney's.
Yeah,
we were set, so
for our Christmas cards.
Yeah.
So we didn't need another one. Thank you for your question. You.
Hi. Okay, so I have a two-parter. First, how are you guys?
Good. You.
I'm pretty good. Next, what was it like on the first day of set?
Supernatural?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll start. I think I started on the show before you did, right? So I was season 2.
Yeah.
It was interesting. I'll tell the story of the first day in the production office versus first day on set because I'd never heard of the show, and I didn't audition for the show. I happened to know the executive producer, so they just called and asked if I wanted to go play a janitor. And I said, sure, you know, I can fake sweeping. You've seen my stair walking, I can sweep just as well. So I was like, I'll do that. And I realized on the airplane as I'm reading the script, it's like supernatural, and I was clearly not just a janitor. And I was like, interesting. Well, I said, well, it'll be fine. We'll get up there, I'll get a little sense of what the show is about. And so we go into the conference room of the production office, still the production office, and they had a speakerphone, and we had a conference call with the director of the episode, me, a couple of producers, and then in LA, Eric Kripke. And we did a read-through of the script, which I'd never done since, but we did a read-through back then. We read through the script, and I thought, here we go, here's my intel, what this show is. Because keep in mind, this is before, you couldn't just Google it and watch scenes, you couldn't just go to Netflix and watch the show. Season 2, it didn't exist anywhere except for on TV. And Kripke kept saying, now, this is a little bit of a comedic spin on our usual format, but let's not use the supernatural elements of the show that have made Supernatural supernatural. We need to keep the supernaturalism of the show intact so we don't forget who we are. We are supernatural, so even though we're going to veer out of that, our baseline is supernatural. We need to keep it supernatural, be the supernatural we have been. and I'm thinking to myself, could you use one fucking adjective that isn't supernatural? It would really help a brother out who doesn't know the show. Like, that's all they referred to was their own show as the descriptive word. I'm like, that does not help. So it was a real crapshoot, trying to figure out what to do. And my first day of work was in the theater, making Jensen wrestle with women in their underwear. So, you're welcome, Jensen, I guess is the answer. But you know, it went fine from there. But that was kind of my first awkward experience. Rob?
I had an epic Loud and Swain show the day before, and we were played in Mammoth at Mammoth Mountain in California, and we did a 3-set night. We played 3 sets of songs. It was epic. It's like 3 hours of playing at this bar. We were the bar band for the night, and afterwards I had no voice. I completely lost my voice, and so I get on a plane the next day and I fly to Vancouver, and I'm freaking out because I didn't have a voice. And so that night, you know, I get up there, get set, and the next morning, so I had like one day and then the next morning I'm on set. Fortunately, the first thing that we shot was me kind of opening the door and see the guys, and I kind of shut the door on them. You know, I'm a very much a hermit Chuck. And I had this raspy voice, and it made sense, right? So fortunately, it was like, here's this guy's in his robe. I've been drinking all day. I don't want any visitors, so like, it made sense to sort of talk like that. That was my first line. Yeah, the other thing I remember from my first day is that first day as a guest star, you don't know anybody, and so it's kind of awkward. It's the first day of school, and Jensen and Jared, we're having a conversation with one of the crew guys, and I'm kind of just like standing next to him, and to try to get me into their conversation, Jensen turns to me and says, we're talking about a UFC fight. You like UFC? And I was like, is that the one where the guys get in the cages? They're like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I'm a pacifist. But it couldn't have been more just like the cool kid trying to get the nerdy kid to get into their group, and like, oh no, sorry, I'm gluten. I've got a gluten intolerance. So that was epic. They're just very intimidating.
I remember specifically the first time I really talked to Jensen, which was a different day. We were shooting the janitor going up the stairs and talking about the professor. And they were framing a shot with Jared and Jensen, and they're framing the shot with the 3 of us, and this is Jared and Jensen, and they get Jared, Jensen, like, all right, let's get Spade on his mark. I'm like, I'm on my mark. Like, all right, well, can we get a half apple for Spade? I'm like, all right, are we good? Are we good? I framed him. It's a 3-shot. So finally, we had a step ladder, you know, and I'm standing there doing this sequence with these 2 dudes. And we all go sit down afterwards, and Jared goes somewhere else, and I'm older than those boys by a chunk, and had been doing a lot of TV at that point, and had not encountered a lot of really tall actors. It was not, you know, I was not on set a lot feeling short, because, you know, there was a lot of dudes shorter than me, and not that much taller than me all through my life in the business, so these 2 were kind of anomalies, and I went over to him, and I'm like, nothing for nothing, but your buddies, super tall. He's like, yeah, tell me about it. I'm 6'1" and I'm the short one. That was our first. And then it got quiet for the next 7 days. But that's how it started. Thank you for your question. You.
Hi.
Hi.
Gabriel is actually my favorite out of all the characters on the show.
Savvy, smart. I get it.
Sorry, Rob, you're like a 3rd favorite.
I like the fact that you started with a compliment, but then had to be sure you got a dig in about it. Like, Richie, I love your work. Robbie, if you made stronger choices, I could see you relating to your character better.
You're on the list.
You're on there. You're on the show. I have seen you on the show. Rich, you're so specific. You're so laser specific.
Number 1 for you, Rich.
So great. Robbie, I'm like, have you watched what Rich does and maybe think about making choices like Rich? Like stronger choices. I mean, yeah. I'm just one person.
I'm gonna.
You know, anything else? Do you want any suggestions for Rob to wear next time? Go ahead.
Is your question for me?
It's actually for both of you.
Okay, well.
If you could wake up tomorrow in the body of someone else, who would you pick and what would you do? But you cannot pick each other.
Well, good, because that would not be the choice.
I was gonna pick Rich so I could get first on your list.
That's a good one. That's a good answer. Here's the thing. In the delicate world we live in, I know I will never be up for political office. Nonetheless, there's no honest answer I can give you right now that doesn't involve complete self-gratification and being terribly filthy. So, I can't give you an honest answer to that because it would be awful. It'd be career-ending. So, I'll go with Jared to be tall. There, right?
Jensen to be the world's most perfect human.
There you go. Thank you, You.
Hello,
Hi.
I'm Jinju.
Hi.
Hi, and I am getting a reputation for my deep and insightful questions, so I hope you're ready for this. This is for Rob.
Why do you dress like an asshole?
So my question is not that. If Chuck could bring back one of the two prophets to perfect health and happiness, which one would he bring back, Kevin or Donatello?
Man, I got no offense to Donatello, but it's a no-brainer.
No-brainer.
You gotta bring Oscar Chow back.
I was so hoping you would say
Oh,
that.
of course, he's such a little teddy bear. I love him, and yeah, I feel like no problem with I mean, bringing it back. Sure, that's maybe the hard part, but perfect health and happiness. This kid's got it. No matter what, Kevin's gonna be in good shape.
Yeah, he's a good fit.
Yeah.
Gee Willikers, I just broke Jared. Nobody's ever said that other than Osric, you know what I mean? That quote belongs to him.
David and Goliath.
Yeah. Thank you for your question.
Thank you so much.